G'day everyone, Joe Riller again, and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial here in my 1.13 crash test dummy world. So you would have seen recently on the Plankcraft server I built us a multi-celled chicken farm and automated cooker. If you haven't seen that, go check out my most recent Plankcraft episode. If I remember, I will put a link in the video description. Now, in that video, I did say that I would build this thing to the fullest practical capacity in a tutorial, and that is exactly what I have done here. So the basic principle of this is an expanded version of this style of farm here. Now obviously I've omitted the redstone just because, but general gist of this is chicken goes in here, lays eggs, they automatically shoot into here. If you get a hatch, it stays there, grows up, sticks its head in the lava, and then gets its cooked chicken and feathers in the chest or whatever down there. Now that's all well and good, but however there is a thing called a mob cap. Not a mob cap, there is a mob cap obviously, but an entity cramming. And you can only fit up to 25 up to 25 chickens in here. So if you want to increase your production, you have to increase the number of cells. Now what the basic principle of this is feeding one kill chamber with two laying chambers for the same reason again as to avoid entity cramming. So what I've got here is a tiled setup, which I will show you how to build soon. But what we have here is 32 laying chambers feeding 16 killing chambers. So, and how I've got it set up at the moment, just for ease of mathematics, is 20 chickens in each chamber, which is a total of 640 laying chickens at once. Now if you do the maths, as per the Minecraft wiki, a chicken lays an egg between every 5 and 10 minutes with a 1/8 chance of it hatching. And that baby chicken, if it does hatch, takes 20 minutes to grow up. And you can hear all the redstone firing away and doing its thing. So, very, very good. I need to do something about those squid. This doesn't happen on the Plankcraft server. This only seems to happen in this world here. It's bloody squid spawning in my item elevators. We'll get to that soon. But you can tell that, using the Minecraft wiki's maths, that this will greatly increase the production. Hasn't really done much yet because I've only just finished building it. But the whole idea is to increase production without running into entity cramming issues. You could, if you wanted to, feed one of these kill chambers with 4 of these laying chambers. It's not impossible. However, it's horrendously impractical to do it that way, and also you would run into entity cramming issues in the kill chamber. So I'm not going to show you how to build this entire thing because it is a tiled setup and it is very repetitive. However, I will show you how to build the basic bits and pieces and components of it. So one side of this and the item elevator. So let's get to it. Okay, so to build one module of this, and when I say one module, what I mean is 4 laying chambers and 2 killing chambers. So we need 2 droppers, 3 blocks apart. And this is what feeds into your main water stream here. And then there's hoppers on top of each of these. Then we build up a little chamber around them. Oops. Like so. You don't need the corners. They can help if you have any issues with with the chickens passing through the corners of the cells. Can be a method of stopping that from happening, because it does still happen apparently. And it happened on the Plankcraft server actually. It hasn't happened to me over here though, so it might be a server thing, I don't know. Anyway, you will then need to put a slab on top of the hopper like so. Punch out these because you didn't need them. Put a helper block there and get a dispenser like so. Get rid of the helper because his job's done. Build the cell up once again. And you leave the lava pockets just for now. Now that is these are the killing chambers, or the dispensers that feed the killing chambers. Now we just need hoppers in sort of a bunny ear type of fashion on each one, like so, and then we increase the height of the killing chambers and continue building them, like so. This bit does get a bit dull and tedious, so you know, have a bit of patience because you'll need it. And have a bit of patience with me because but a lot of this glass is confusing, okay? This is meant to be a tutorial, not a joke. But anyway, that's the infrastructure more or less. Oops. That's the infrastructure for it more or less done. So there's your laying chambers that feed into there. Now to do the redstone is fairly straightforward. Whoops, that's the wrong button. So we go out like this, blocks there. Oops, not there. I do apologize for the crappy frame rates as well. Having that many entities is not ideal. Oh, excuse me. Alright. Get some of this going on. So, basic self-powered dropper circuit. So, dropper or dispenser circuit, I should say. So, we need repeater going into the block that's underneath, comparator coming out, and then round the corner like this, and then just dust that up like so. Very easy. And now for the bottom half, we do roughly the same thing. There are a couple of differences. So, we need to tunnel in underneath here. If you imagine, your water stream is along here. So that's your water stream going along there. So we'll just dummy that up just for now, just so you can visualize it a bit better. And then we go repeater, whoops, repeater, and then let's make this look semi-professional. Dust that up too. And now we repeat here. However, there are a couple of differences. And it's with this bottom half here. So we chuck in the top half almost as we did before. However, there does need to be one small difference, and you'll see it in just a sec. So we get the blocks in place. Now, oops, knew I'd need it. This one here has to be a slab because obviously you don't want to slice off that particular piece of redstone. And then you need to place a block here under this hopper because you do want to slice off any redstone that comes from this on top of this slab. It's joining into this circuit here because we want to keep those separate from one another. So you don't want those wires crossing. So repeater, repeater, comparator, and then the dust. Now that's very straightforward there. Now if you imagine, so just use your imagination for a sec, and I'll show you what I'm referring to in a sec. Imagine this is the start of your water stream, and we've got the inside of the sort of cross bit. So I'm referring to this section here, so in here. Because that is a bit too close to crossing wires, you do need to do it slightly differently, as you've probably just seen there. So instead of using the block method, like block and then block to turn the corner method over here, chuck in your comparator and then repeater straight away. Still tunnel in under here. You'll still need a repeater. And dust it up this way. That makes sure that no wires in the corners here are getting crossed. Aha, I've made a mistake. Don't do this. Do that. And there's... Look at that. Troubleshooting 101. So that is how you build that. That is very straightforward, and then obviously don't forget to pop in the lava sources. Don't forget to do that, otherwise you're just going to have millions and millions of chickens doing nothing, not getting barbecued. However, that is that particular slice of the puzzle done. So that's actually enough for most single player worlds, in all honesty, because you've got 4 times up to 25 chickens, so you've got up to 100 chickens there, and they're laying obviously into the 2 kill chambers. So I mean, I might put the maths up on the screen, but you can sort of calculate for yourself how much chicken you can expect from that. Now we're going to move on to the item elevator. Now, this is obviously a 1.13 style item elevator, so that is what we're going to use, since that's the most current thing out. Test items. This has been going for only about 10 minutes so far, so you're probably not going to expect too much in the way of drops for the first hour. It's because the supplies need to get stocked, but they will. Though they will. It is also a good idea to build this in your spawn chunks, which is what I did on the Plankcraft server. Now, I'm not going to build this step by step. I'll just show you what we have going on here. So, oh, please do excuse my sniffling. So what we have here is 2 hopper lines going into each side of this dropper, and then I didn't get the buckets out, and 2 water streams going into said hopper lines. What's that saying? Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Let's hope not. So, and if you picture that is the same sort of setup as we have going on here. So we've got a water stream that goes under here, under there, and there is a hopper under there. I got it the wrong way around. So that's the source, and then there's the hopper, and then it goes in a sort of in the squarey fashion. There's the source, and there's the hopper. So all of these streams lead into the middle, into that system. Now, I will say as well, I haven't done it here just so, for ease of you seeing, but it is a good idea, especially for these back droppers here, to cap this off. So, like this. It is a good idea. It is, oops, it is optional, but it does help with item transport consistency. So the basic redstone afterwards is this. So we have a comparator coming out into a block and then back around. Now make sure you do that in one of these corners, not a corner under the water flow, because then it won't work, because it won't fit. And then that is the obvious self-powering mechanism for the circuit. And then under here we have a piece of redstone, 2 repeaters, a piece of redstone dust, and it goes then back into there to power it. And that's all there is to it really. Soul sand and as high as you need to, and then into whatever sorting system or storage system you want to use. And that is pretty much it. So it's pretty much a copy and paste sort of design. So it's fairly straightforward from that, and then you obviously multiply it into that. And as I said, it will take about half an hour to an hour to, really get the farm going, but especially if you left it in your spawn chunks on a server, you will have a fair bit of chicken, but it's not something that you'll notice the results of, as I said, before the first half hour, even up to an hour depending. But that is it. There's still nothing in there. What's it been, about 10-15 minutes since I finished it? So we're not going to see a hell of a lot out of this thing as yet. Okay, so just to finish off, this has been running for approximately a grand total of about 25 minutes to half an hour now. And I know that doesn't seem very impressive, but as I said, don't forget, this needs to gather chickens in here before it can start killing them. So the first half an hour is, I did say it's going to be pretty abysmal rates. It's after that first half an hour to an hour where you're really going to start seeing, some fairly decent rates of chicken. I think I've just seen some more go up in there. But that is it. Let me know if you find this useful. I certainly did, and the boys in the Plankcraft server most definitely did as well. I think overnight we got, I think it was almost a double chest's worth of cooked chicken, but that was with only 8 laying chambers, and that was in the spawn chunks on the server too. So obviously, you can make your own sort of item sorting system out of that, and you don't always need this item elevator either, depending on where you build this. If you built this, say, up high, you wouldn't have an item elevator, you would let it go down. The reason I've built it with an item elevator is because this is sort of designed with being underground in mind, and so obviously you want to be able to access your drops, in a fairly timely and efficient manner. You don't want to go up and down ladders all day. So this would, elevate your chicken and feathers to the surface. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I hope I've shown you something a bit different. And I'm probably going to do an entity kill command after I'm done here, because this is really upsetting my frame rate and I don't like it. But that's probably a word of caution for this thing too, is use at your own risk if you value your frames, if you value your FPS. But anyways, thank you very much for watching, as I said, and I will see you all next time with some other weird and wonderful contraption. You have a good one, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.